गायत्री सीटला सीट आहे मला काय कनेक्ट करायचंय कसलं पाहिजे
हेलो तो कनेक्शन में अरे मला कनेक्ट करून आपल्याला लाईव्ह
हा कनेक्टर सनीकडेच आहे काय माहिती सेव करायची कनेक्ट करून बघतोय काढून बघायचं बाहेर काढ
हे बसत नाही.
पहिला इकडे
आधी हे घालते. झालं. हा हा त्याला आधी घालून नंतर घालायचं.
हॅलो. हेलो
लाइव स्ट्रीमिंग कर दे, लेकिन प्रोग्राम स्टार्ट नहीं हो रहा, डैश पे कोई नहीं है।
मैं अभी तो मोबाइल फोन पे बात कर रहा हूँ, इसमें से काटता हूँ फिर वहां से कनेक्ट करते हैं सर। जी बात करूँ।
हेलो हेलो
हेलो, ये आवाज नहीं है आपको? हेलो
हेलो हेलो,
जी, आवाज आ रही है?
गुड इवनिंग एवरीवन। हेलो
हेलो सर, मैं बोल रहा हूँ यहाँ से, वहां से कोई रिस्पांस नहीं आ रहा है सर।
हम तो यहाँ से हेलो हेलो बोल रहे हैं, देखो
हेलो,
हाँ
आपको हमारी आवाज नहीं आ रही है, इसका मतलब?
नहीं आ रही, आपकी आवाज नहीं आ रही,
मैं बोल रहा हूँ हेलो
आपकी आवाज नहीं आ रही।
हेलो।
एक मिनट म्यूट करता हूँ पहले।
अभी तो आ रहा है।
हेलो सर,
हेलो
हेलो
हाँ सर, हमारा टेक्निकल पर्सन देख रहा है उसको। जी हाँ ठीक
मॉडरेटर म्यूट किया, म्यूट मेरे वहां से मॉडरेटर को सबको म्यूट कर रखा है।
कहाँ से?
वहां से
मॉडरेटर ने
म्यूट कर रखा है सबको वहां से।
उनको
सिस्टम हाँ बोलिए बोलिए।
हेलो सर, आपकी तरफ से सभी पार्टिसिपेंट्स को म्यूट कर रखा है, आपको पहले वो ओपन करना पड़ेगा, तब हमारी आवाज उधर जाएगी। मॉडरेटर ने
अनम्यूट करो सबको, सभी आपने म्यूट किया है। नहीं नहीं, आ रहा था, हेलो चेंज करना पड़ेगा। जस्ट जस्ट नोट आउट, दे आर ट्राइंग इट।
जी अभी आवाज आ रही है आपको?
हाँ यस सर।
नाउ यू स्पीक।
हाँ जी आ रही है आवाज?
हाँ आ रही हल्की सी है बट
हल्की है आवाज पर।
इट लाउडर कैन यू स्पीक।
इतने में तो आ जाती है ना।
वॉइस कम कर दो।
अभी बोलिए थोड़ा। हेलो
कर रहा है सर, होल्ड कीजिएगा जी।
अब बोलिए। ठीक है।
हेलो जी अभी आवाज आ रही है, चेक कीजिए। हेलो
या अभी नहीं आ रही आवाज आपकी?
अभी आ रही है सर?
नहीं अभी भी नहीं आ रही।
नहीं आ रही है सर। है
मॉडरेटर अंडरस्टूड उसको हटाया वहां से।
मॉडरेटर अनम्यूट मोड। हेलो
या स्टिल वी आर गेटिंग ऑडियो फ्रॉम योर साइड।
सर यहाँ से आवाज में प्रॉब्लम है कुछ, मैं देख रहा हूँ, पर यहाँ पे हमको सिस्को में ऊपर शो कर रहा है मॉडरेटर अनम्यूट मोड, मतलब कि मॉडरेटर ने
इसका कंट्रोल आपके हाथ में तो क्या?
अच्छा
अनम्यूट किया जाता है। म्यूट किया जाता है। अनम्यूट करना है। सर इतना आवाज येतो है। किती येतो आवाज?
हेलो
हेलो
अब आवाज आ रही है हमारी प्रॉपर?
नहीं
क्या सेव होता है? हेलो
हमारे लैपटॉप में तो आ गया आपकी आवाज। इसकी आवाज हम एम्पलीफायर पर लेना चाह रहे हैं।
लैपटॉप में ऑडियो पर वो एम्पलीफायर पे लेना चाह रहे हो।
एम्पलीफायर चेंज करना पड़ेगा सेटिंग उनको वहाँ पर सिस्टम से।
तो बात कर लो,
आउटपुट देना पड़ेगा उनको वहाँ
एक मिनट
पे।
बात कर लो तुम।
हेलो सर आपको आउटपुट चेंज करना पड़ेगा, लैपटॉप से देना पड़ेगा, जो एक्सटर्नल स्पीकर लगाया उसको चेंज करना पड़ेगा, सेलेक्ट करना पड़ेगा। आउटपुट चेंज करिए वहाँ पे जाके जूम में आप वेबएक्स में ना आप ऑडियो सेटिंग में जाइए, वहाँ से ऑडियो का डिवाइस चेंज करिए, वहाँ से लैपटॉप का स्पीकर के बजाय जो एक्सटर्नल स्पीकर उसको सेलेक्ट करिए वहाँ से।
बस उसी को किया। एक मिनट सनी।
हेलो
हेलो
आप आपने लैपटॉप से क्या आगे कनेक्ट किया डिवाइस, क्या स्पीकर होगा ना आपका कोई बड़ा सा वहाँ पे?
स्पीकर
तो लैपटॉप से स्विच करो ना उस पे यार, वो क्या है लैपटॉप का स्पीकर ले रहा है, तो आपको वहां से सिलेक्ट करना पड़ेगा, आपका जो स्पीकर है बाहर एक्सटर्नल स्पीकर सेलेक्ट करना।
अभी स्पीकर भी कर रहा है सर।
आप वेबएक सेटिंग में जाइए, वेबएक सेटिंग जहाँ पे है ना, अब वो माइक ऑप्शन आ रहा है वहाँ पे सेटिंग करिए, ऑडियो सेटिंग, और ऑडियो सबसे पहले स्पीकर आएगा ना ऊपर, वहां से स्पीकर को सिलेक्ट करना पड़ेगा ड्रॉप डाउन करके, ठीक है? वहां पर लिस्ट आ जाएगा कौन सा स्पीकर है, इसलिए आपको आवाज का ऑप्शन नहीं दे रहा है।
हाँ यहाँ पे किया है स्पीकर ही किया है।
नहीं
स्पीकर
आपका जो बाहर लगा होगा तो बाहर
ठीक है सर, ठीक है सर, एक 2 मिनट लैपटॉप का एक यूट्यूब प्ले कर दो, आवाज तो है ना?
लैपटॉप का स्पीकर सेट रखा है लैपटॉप, स्विच करना पड़ेगा बाहर वाले।
काय करता रे थोड़ा साउंड
ठीक है
तो काय काय केलंस, काय सेटिंग चेंज केलंस?
पहले से क्यों टेस्ट कर दिया ये सर? पहले से क्यों test-
हेलो लैपटॉप
अच्छा त्यांचा घ्या आपण टेक द फीस
उन्होंने चेक किया था लैपटॉप से।
है कनेक्टेड है सर। आप सेटिंग मत चेंज करना स्पीकर की कुछ। हेलो
हम बात कर रहे हैं यार तुम।
सनी एवरीथिंग इज डन, लेट मी नो।
हेलो
हेलो हेलो सर।
आवाज आ रही है अब हमारी प्रॉपर?
हाँ आ रही है सर।
ठीक हो गया?
हाँ ठीक हो गया सर।
क्या दिक्कत था? अब आप स्पीकर नहीं सेलेक्ट कर पाए थे ना?
स्पीकर का ही प्रॉब्लम है।
और
Okay.
और पहले आपने कहाँ से चेक किया था? पहले वाला जो टेस्ट किया था हम थोड़ी देर पहले?
हाँ, तभी वो स्पीकर पे नहीं था, वो ऑडियो पे है।
Okay, so now you can listen to us properly.
Yeah, please inform sir. Now will be coming on the dais. I am coming along with my vice chancellor. Ask sir to come.
Okay, sir. He will be here in 2 minutes, sir.
Okay.
सुशील, जैसे ही लोग आ जाए तो मैं सर को बोल रहा हूँ.
सुमन,
सनी तुझा राइट है ना?
नहीं करेगा।
Good evening, everyone. The dignitaries have arrived. Let us welcome them with a big round of applause. I kindly request all the dignitaries to take their respective seats on the dais and off the dais. They are waiting for our chief guest. He is joining us very soon. Once again, I request all the participants, our chief guest is arrived. Let us welcome him with a big round of applause.
You can't hear the sound, I think.
Please proceed. SAIF-CFC is pleased to welcome all the dignitaries on the dais and off the dais. And I, everybody, welcome you all for this valedictory session. Ladies and gentlemen, the time has come to draw a curtain to our program. A very good evening and warm welcome to all of you for this valedictory session of challenges and opportunities for innovative research using sophisticated instruments under Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav, organized by SAIF-DST Center, Shivaji University, Kolhapur. We all have been busy in listening to many eminent speakers who enlightened all of us, and we have a good discussion with them on various topics over the last 7 days. I hope you all get benefited with their expertise. One thing I would like to mention about our participants, they were very enthusiastic. So let's put your hands together for all our participants for their active participation. Thank you all. As we come to the valedictory function, now I take this opportunity to welcome and introduce the individuals on the dais and off the dais. The president of today's event, Honorable Pro Vice Chancellor, Shivaji University, Kolhapur, Professor P.S. Patil, sir. The chief guest of this event, who connected with us through WebEx platform, Honorable Professor Shiva Umapati, sir, Director, Indian Institute of Research. The guest of honor, Professor Sunil Bhatt, sir, Senior Professor, Department of Development. And also we have in-charge head of CFC and coordinator of SAIF, Professor R.G. Songavan, sir. Before we start, ladies and gentlemen, today is the birth anniversary of one of the world's greatest scientists, Sir C.V. Raman. We give a heartfelt tribute to Bharat Ratna C.V. Raman, sir, and kindly request all the dignitaries on the dais to give floral tribute and garlanding to Sir C.V. Raman. Professor C.V. Raman believes that the success came to you by courageous devotion to the task lying in front of you. He was the most outstanding scientist that the India gave the world. The whole world is tied with the strong rope of science. Dr. Field of Invention on the world's map in the field of science, and by becoming the first Indian to win the Nobel Prize for Physics in 1930. On his birth anniversary, we all give a heartfelt tribute to Sir C.V. Raman. I kindly request all the dignitaries on the dais and off the dais, please take your respective seats. Now,
There.
I request Dr. K.D. Bawasar from School of Nanoscience and Technology, Shivaji University, Kolhapur, to introduce our chief guest. Over to you, sir.
Honorable Pro Vice Chancellor of Shivaji University, Kolhapur, Professor SAIF-DST, who is presiding today's valedictory function. Today's eminent presence, Professor Shiva Umapati sir, who is present online from ISER Bhopal. Professor Sunil Bhan, who is also present to grace today's occasion. Professor R.G. Solkawade, all the participants, dear colleagues, good afternoon one and all. I take this opportunity to introduce to you a very eminent personality in the field of science and technology, Professor Shiva Umapati sir. Professor Shiva Umapati sir is currently heading as a director of Indian Institute of Science and Education, Indian Institute of Science, Education and Research that we fondly call ISER, Bhopal. Prior to his appointment as a director at ISER Bhopal, Professor Shivapati has earned many accolades in the field of science and technology. He was a professor at Indian Institute of Science, Bangalore. Prior to this, Professor Shivapati went go through his entire journey. He completed his BSc from University of Madras, and also he completed his MSc from University of Madras in the field of applied chemistry. After having completed his master's and PG, he then moved to the University of Otago, Dublin, New Zealand for his doctoral research. And after completing his doctoral research, Professor Umapati worked as a ACRC fellow, and the area that he was working was the laser microscopy. As I earlier told, he was working as a faculty of Indian Institute of Science, Bangalore since 1990. And as far as the research area of Professor Umapati is concerned, his research area is mainly aligned with the frequency and time resolved experimental spectroscopy and some computational methods. And he has been involved in a use of those basic microscopic studies toward the understanding of molecular structures and their dynamics in reaction, solution, and also in excited or radical states. Based on these experiences, Professor Umapati and his group has developed number of technologies which are not been patented, and some prototypes have also been developed and commercialized. As far as the recognition and awards of Professor Umapati are concerned, there are a number of different awards he has been honored with. And as I told, there are very long list of his credentials. I will know the some of his very outstanding recipients. For example, he was awarded with the Shanti Swarup Bhatnagar Award by the state government of India, which is very prestigious award in the field of science and technology that is given in India. Also, he is an honorary fellow of HEMSC Society. He is also the the recipient of RS medal, RS Verma medal that is given by the Indian Chemical Society. He is elected fellow of National Academy of Science. He is also visiting professor at Kwansei Gankun University, Japan. Then he is also J.C. Bose fellow professorship. He is visiting professor at Global Center in the Excellence in Chemistry, University of Tokyo. He is elected fellow of Indian Academy of Science. He was a recipient of bronze medal at the Chemical Research Society of India. He is also the recipient of Swarna Jayanti Young Scientist Award. He is also the Holman Chair Professor at University of Groningen, Netherlands. He is also Subara Lecture Memorial recipient. These are some of the credentials. As I told, he has received many more awards, and the list is so long. Also, in addition to this, Professor Umapati has been engaged as a board on board of some editorial members. So he is the advisory board member of the Royal Society of Chemistry. He is also the editor of some very prestigious journals, scientific journals like Spectrochemia, Acta A. He is the editorial board member of Nature Scientific Reports, Frontiers in Physics, Journal of Biophotonics, Journal of Raman Spectroscopy, and then Journal of Chemical Physics. Also, he has got many members of many international committees and recognitions. The list is very long. As far as his accolades in the field of science and research is concerned, his research toward many scientific breakthroughs has earned him or has been recognized in the form of patents. So he has been granted with 5 US patents, more than 10 international patents. As far as his research contribution is concerned in the form of publications, he has more than 200 publications in the international journals of high repute and high impact factors. So far, he has more than 5,000 citations, and his H index is more than 33. So this is how we have a very eminent personality present among us for this valedictory function. I was fortunate enough to introduce such an eminent personality who is the recipient of Shanti Swarup Bhatnagar. I welcome you, sir, and thank you for being with us online for gracing this occasion. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir. Now I kindly request Professor P.S. Patil, sir, to felicitate our chief guest with warm words.
Good afternoon, sir.
Namaskar. Namaskar.
You listen to me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Thank you, please. Yeah.
So I'm very happy to see you here in the valedictory function of STUTI function. On behalf of Shivaji University, Kolhapur, which is in Maharashtra state, I would like to welcome you on this particular webinar. And I'm sure that the participants will get a lot of benefits from your invited talk. We are very much lucky to have you here as a chief guest of this valedictory function. Once again, I welcome you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. We all are blessed to have him with us. Now, I kindly request Dr. Kranti sir from Department of Chemistry, Shivaji University, Kolhapur, to introduce our guest of honor.
Dignitaries on the dais, respected teachers, dear participant. As we know, we have a dynamic personality with us. So it is my privilege to introduce our today's guest of honor, Professor Sunil Bhan sir. Professor Sunil Bhan sir is currently working as a senior professor at Department of Chemistry, BITS Pilani, KK Birla Goa campus. He is also project director at same department in Goa campus. As a researcher, Professor Sunil Bhan sir has published more than 70 research articles and 6 book chapters of international repute. Professor Sunil Bhan sir has filed 13 international patents. Among that, have been granted. As a researcher, under his guidance, 11 students have been completed their PhD. Professor Bhan sir has completed his MSc PhD from Devi Ahilya Vishwavidyalaya in the subject of chemistry. Sir has worked as a member of different administrative and academic bodies. Professor Bhan sir has 22 years of teaching experience at postgraduate level. As far as research, Professor Bhan sir has also research experience as a visiting scientist in different countries like UK, Sweden. So with this brief introduction, I would like to welcome Professor Bhan sir on behalf of SAIF-DST, CFC, Shivaji University, Kolhapur, and entire STUTI team. Welcome, sir.
Thank you. Thank you very much, sir. Now I kindly request Professor P.S. Patil, sir, to felicitate our guest of honor, Professor Sunil Bhan, sir, with shawl, shrifle, and memento as a token of love and respect. Thank you. Thank you very much, sir. Welcome to Shivaji University, Kolhapur. Now, let's proceed. I kindly request Professor R.J. Sonkawde, sir, to give the summary of this whole training program.
Good afternoon, one and all. On the dais, today's chief guest, Professor Umapati sir, the Pro Vice Chancellor of the Shivaji University, Professor P.S. Patil sir, will be presiding today's valedictory ceremony. And we have the guest of honor, Professor Sunil Bhan sir. Of the dais, my various faculty members within this university campus from various different departments, academic departments. First of all, with my opening remarks, I must say this valedictory training program about the STUTI has reached on 7th November. And I'm very happy to share with all of you. Today is such an important day where Dr. C.V. Raman he is having birth anniversary. And on this birth anniversary, we have got such an eminent chief guest to us. His area of domain is also Raman spectroscopy. So I salute to you, sir, for your excellent work. Dear participants, I am trying along with my entire administrative support from the university authorities to get the best academicians for this STUTI training program, which has been funded by Department of Science and Technology. Just now, Dr. Kiran Pawar has read the CV of our chief guest, Professor Shiva Umapati sir. And sir, you have promised me one day you will be visiting Shivaji University, Kolhapur in person also.
I will.
For that. And on behalf of my university authority, really, I'll be very happy if you can visit over here and you see the facility, how it has been maintained. I don't want to exaggerate, sir, but this is one of the best facility what we have in the state universities, which has been in-house under one roof with all sophisticated instruments. Most of the sophisticated instruments which will be used by material scientists across the country. So this is one of the prime as well as pride moment for all of us. Now I'll come back to the opening remark of the STUTI training program, how we had it. Sir, this is the last day. Dear participants, I am also equally emotionally attached with each and every one of you. I know this is 7 days bonding is an excellent bonding. Literally, among this batch, Umapati sir, one participant came to me in my chamber and he started crying. He told me such a beautiful exposure, what he got it was just tough for him. And today I think he is present over here, he'll be going to share his view again. As well as other participants also. Sir, Department of Science and Technology, Ministry of Science and Technology has given such kind of training programs to 13 project monitoring units across the country. But let me share over here to all of you, Shivaji University Kolhapur is also doing the best all the training programs across the country. One more point I wanted to mention to Umapati sir. Actually, my vice chancellor was supposed to be over here, but he has got a lot of assignments. And my pro vice chancellor was also equally important, but he was so busy. And when I called him, he said, when Umapati sir is there, definitely I'll be coming at. I want to listen his address. So this much affection everyone is having for you, sir. The day which has been now today, where C.V. Raman birth anniversary we are celebrating and we are having Umapati sir with us. I stated in the beginning itself, this is a very rare moment. And I wanted to highlight Professor Patil sir. I just made one telephone call to Umapati sir. Sir, may I request you, please, can you accept the chief guest for valedictory ceremony? Wholeheartedly, he inquired about me, how are you, how are the things going on? And he gave his consent to me immediately. But again, I am repeating, sir, your in-person visit will be due for the Shivaji University. And I'm sure you will be reaching very soon to the Shivaji University. Furthermore, I won't take much time. I know that sir has also told me don't extend more than 40 minutes or so. He has to also go because we all are waiting for his address and today is the special day. So sir will be going to address us, all of us, and remaining aspects, whatever you participants are feeling, what is the feedback, kindly give the honest feedback because sir also can understand what we will be doing it. And soon, again, we'll be having the next training program at Shivaji University in the month of December itself. So I'm damn sure all these participants within these 7 days, you are exposed with a wonderful faculty members. Right from, sir, we got the speakers from Kashmir, Delhi, South India, as well as East and West. We almost covered most of the part where the best resource persons can address to these faculty members as well as these participants who are the research scholars. So these are the added feathers to this STUTI training program. Every time we'll be finding the best research persons who can address these entire participants so that they can keep it on motivating. As well, Umapati sir, for your information, the DST has provided all these things for this participant, excellent accommodation in the 4-star hotel, the best cultural event they have enjoyed. As well as we had the excursion tour, and this excursion tour was our space center, sir. Yesterday they have seen some of the moon glimpses through the telescope, which we are going to have at our university. So with these words, once again, I really thank Professor Umapati sir, and we all are eagerly waiting for his address also. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much, sir, for enlightening all of us. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope this STUTI training program added few memories to your lives. We would like to hear how well our efforts resonated to you. I kindly request all the participants, if some of them wants to share their thoughts, their experiences with us, the stage is yours.
Hello all. My name is Sajid Mulani and I am from TC College Barabanki. I am doing PhD in microbiology and I have a small startup. Before coming to this program, I don't know anything about the instrument. And as I told you, I have startup. So मुझे ये पता नहीं था कि मैं मेरे जो भी प्रोडक्ट्स है उसको किस तरह से टेस्ट करूँ या उसके साथ में कैसे देख सकता हूँ कि ये प्योर है, इम्प्योर है और क्या है. But once I come to the program and now I know much more about the instrument and I know how it can be tested. And I know, and one thing I mentioned here, I have tested my samples I have tested my own samples. So this is a big thing for me. And I must tell you one thing that the participant who tried in Sir's lab was me. Because I get beyond the limit. I don't know how to test the samples or what instrument that can apply for my samples. But I know much things. And one of my friends was told me that you should go to this workshop. That's why I'm here. Okay, so I know the importance of this workshop. I get much more things from here. And your team is too much fantastic, and they are doing very great job. In fact, you are doing very great job. I must thank to SAIF-DST Center and STUTI. So please keep doing this workshop. So people like me will inspire and do such a fantastic thing and will contribute for the society and nation also. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you very much for your words. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Respected dignitaries on and on the dais, participants, faculty members. With due honor, I, Ms. Chetna Bhagarji, representing the border district that is Belgaum from Karnataka, stand before you to put forth some few points that I thought about this STUTI program. Regarding STUTI program, I personally feel that it is the much needed step towards the fulfillment of research, as having hands-on experience with the instruments will definitely lead to quality research. The insight of advanced analytical techniques were very useful towards the understanding of scientific and industrial processes needed commercially to bring innovation among different fields of applied sciences, engineering, and industrial sectors. We all were exposed to theory and hands-on practice on sophisticated instruments and characterization tools to design and implement for appropriate strategies for research work. I must say, it was indeed a wonderful experience for all of us. It has enabled the researchers here and the students to acquire knowledge about various state-of-the-art technological equipments and learn their usage. Also, the awareness generation on the iSTEM portal was equally productive. Such seminars are a boon for the society, especially the scientific community. It was truly helpful in nation building and the advancement of our society. And with this, I do really appreciate the efforts of the organizing team who worked tirelessly to make this STUTI function a grand success. And I request all of you to give a big round of applause to all this entire team who has been with us throughout thick and thin, from morning to night, enjoying us and giving their best to us. Thank you once again, and thank you, sir, for bringing us here. Thank you.
Very good afternoon to whoever present here. respected sirs, honorable dignitaries, and all the ignited minds present here in front of me in the form of you peoples. Myself, Savita Satish Mane from Institute of Chemical Technology, Jalna. Before proceeding, let me express my sincere gratitude to whole the organizing committee from Government of India to Professor Sonagade sir and all the STUTI team from Shivaji University, Kolhapur, who is giving their best efforts to make this program very, very successful event. I am very much glad to be here in this university who is blessed with the energy, power, and the name of Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj. So I'm feeling very happy to be here, though I belong to kind of one of the good institutes from the India, but I never seen such kind of sophisticated instruments which are here, and I have never learned. Truly speaking, I have never learned because in everyday research life, we never go beyond our boundaries. We only stick up with our daily studies. So we never thought to learn about the working principles, the parts of the instruments. So those things we have learned here. Again, the most important thing I found here is the ground to earth peoples. I made such kinds of wonderful scientists. So amongst the India, I made here Professor Sonagade sir and Dr. Yasi sir, Dr. Last day, Dr. I forgot the name, sir. Gopinath sir. So those people I met here, and while discussing with them, I came to know that though the people are from the top of the India, but still they are down to earth. So once again, I want to say thanks to Sonagade sir for organizing such kinds of wonderful event, for giving us such kinds of facilities, and for me, this event, this program was a combination of fun, excitement, knowledge, study, and most important, the inspiration. So once again, thank you, sir. And I would like to be here in this university to gain something new from this land. So thank you very much.
Come fast, sir, has to do for this time.
Good evening, everyone. Respected sir, respected dignitaries, and respected research scholars. I would first like to thank Dr. Sonagade sir and entire STUTI organizing committee because right from the starting of the email till we reached here, they were in constant connection with us and they were guiding us extremely well. So please give a round of applause for the entire STUTI team. I myself, Bhakti Gurudat III from Mumbai University, Department of Chemistry. So personally, we didn't get any coursework. So we didn't get any exposure to handling of instruments. And usually the instrument facility which is present, the students lack a hands-on training. So it was a great experience here that we were getting hands-on training and the staff was technical staff, teachers, and the students were so much well equipped with not even the theoretical knowledge, but also the practical explanation, because they initially explained us the in-depth knowledge about the instrument and further made us do our samples. So usually when we send samples to IIT or other institutes, we do not get that exposure of handling our own samples. We lack that, which is the main drawback. Like you just send the sample, the technical person does the sample and you get the report over the email or maybe by courier and the sample gets returned. But here our own samples were analyzed, which was really great. And personally, my all samples were analyzed. So I really once again thank the STUTI team for helping me do the same. Lastly, I would like to add one more thing, that usually in conferences or workshops, the team is more inclined and focused only towards the conducting of workshop and that's it. Then the thing is over. But the STUTI team organized yesterday's Panhara visit. Even we went to Mahalakshmi temple. So along with the workshop, like along with the knowledge, we were having fun with each other, whichever participant was present. So we could have an experience to interact with different people from different institutes. So that is one more thing which I really admire of the same.
So thank you everyone. Thank you, sir. And thank you, Stuti, for organizing such a wonderful workshop and enlightening us. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you very much, ma'am.
Very good evening, everyone. It is my sincere interest to express my thanks. Basically, by doing this program, I have come to know various characterization techniques and especially how to analyze the samples. So basically, in order to do all these things, previously I didn't have the basics knowledge of analyzing the samples, and I had not seen the XPS instrument for which I had come. In fact, I had met our beloved professor Sonkawade sir at IIT Jodhpur. So basically there I said, sir, he had delivered a wonderful lecture there also at XPS. And I said, sir, I want to see the instrument XPS. So he said, it is in my institute. You can apply for the STUTI program. It will be conducting in the upcoming months, and applied, and luckily I got selected. Thank you so much, sir. So by learning this XPS, basically we analyze the sample for XPS out is material science. So that will be now immensely helpful to me. And by learning all these things, I can carry my research smoothly. So thank you so much.
Thank you very much, sir. If you can consider, we just take the 2 more participants with that.
Good evening, everyone. Of the days and on the days. First, I want to say something of what we have get from here. First of all, I would like to thank DST to provide fund for conducting this kind of workshop all over India. And I would like to thank again the authorities of the university. Yeah, please. Authorities of this university, Shivaji University, Kolhapur. Then I would like to extend my thanks to Sonkawade sir. So why you know what? Because only 30 people are allowed to each study program all over India. But here 50 students are allowed here due to his interest to educate, to elevate. It's a meaning we have to elevate our generation by using education, which is said by Mahakavi Subramanya Bharatiyar. Then I would like to thank the organizing team for providing good hospitality as well as food, then training materials as well as then hospitality. I can say okay. Once again, I thank you, the whole organizing team. Thank you very much, all. That's it.
Thank you. Thank you very much, sir. Now, the last participant.
So, good evening to one and all dignitaries of the dais and on dais. So, my dream is completed. So, I will tell you what was my dream. I have prepared my samples, but it was my dream. I will analyze it with my hands. So, it was my dream. I heard that you have to go for foreign countries for do the analysis where you can deposit your material and then XRD you have to take. So now I can say in India, in Shivaji University, you can do that. Prepare your own samples, come with here. Best thing in this program, it was like personally feel that the best method of learning new thing is like learning by playing. We come up with our samples. We have played carefully with the instruments and results is there, sir. So it was my dream. It is completed. And sir, one more additional thing is that no one gives you all the things. But here we got all the things from hospitality, knowledge, all the things. You gave us the vision to see how the career or how to innovation is like this. If we fail, you also give the backup, which is these friends. These are my backups. So whenever I feel I'm getting it down, so this will help me. So thank you, one and all.
Thank you. Thank you very much, sir. Indeed, the whole program is organized in such a way that each and every minute of the participant is fully utilized. Now, ladies and gentlemen, it's time to, it's a moment of pride and accomplishment, a moment of celebration that gives a sense of achievement and fills the heart with mixed feelings of fulfillment, anxiety, and eagerness. It's time to declare the winner of our quiz. Before that, each and everyone present over here is a winner, so please give a big round of applause for yourself. The third prize goes to Dr. Prashant Baburao Khara from Amravati. I kindly request the Bima Aji Song College to praise Dr. Khara sir with his reward. Congratulations, Dr. Khara. Now, the second place is secured by Mr. Pritam Avinash Shetty from Nashik. I kindly request Professor Srini Bhuttu sir to praise Mr. Pritam Shetty sir with his reward. Congratulations, sir. Now, I am pleased to announce the winner of this quiz, Mr. Vikas Baburao Jadhav from Nashik. Of this quiz with his reward. Sorry, sir. Once again, I congratulate all our winners and participants for your active participation. Now, it's time to hear the eminent personality amongst us, our guest of honor. I kindly request Professor Sunil Bansa to enlighten all of us with his words.
Chief guest, Professor Mokati, Professor Patel, coordinator, Professor Shankar, student team and participants. I think it's a wonderful aim and a great beginning on a great day of Professor Sri. I could see the enthusiasm of participant. So I miss the first 6 days. I will request next time we be invited also for the 6 days. So your initiative and energy is amazing on the 7th day. You're still like first day. So I think hats off to Shivaji University, Kolhapur, under the leadership of Mr. Patil and also Dr. Surkavade. Over and above, they have done 10 workshops. We did one at Goa at Pittsburgh. So the spirit is not just to do for yourself, but to do for all. Hats off to that. And I believe you all will become the ambassador of this program and continue in your journey and benefit from your knowledge and enlighten other next students. I wish you all the best. It was great to be here and see you all. It is such a wonderful experience of learning for us also, that how we should fill the gap for the next program of training. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you very much, sir. Now, it's time to hear a great scientist and very well-known person in the field of research. And when we thought about our chief guest, who else could have been a better and more appropriate person to address the youth group for the closing ceremony of this program, which is filled with energy and enthusiasm. Now, I kindly request our chief guest, Professor Shiva Umapati, sir, to address the assembled gathering. Over to you, sir.
Hello, good afternoon. Can you hear me now?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Thank you. So, Professor Patil, the Vice Chancellor of Shivaji University, Kolhapur, and Professor Sunil Band, former Dean of BIT, BITS Pilani, the Goa campus, and of course, our friend, Dr. Rajendra Sankawade. Good to see you, and it's a pleasure to be here on this day. I'm very sorry I'm not able to be there personally today, but I promise you I will come there sooner than later. Because, you know, when one of my friends, colleagues, Professor Arunan, who came and gave a lecture in your program, came back and he told me how impressive he was to see the kind of arrangements you have made, facilities and training programs. And he told me that I should go and help you. And I immediately agreed, and he gave me your number. And so when you called, I knew what you were calling me about. And, you know, it's our duty, you know, so some of us are very lucky to be in an institute like Indian Institute of Science. And so we have, you know, our own training program is of international class. So we force all our students, PhD students, to run their experiments on their own. Because, you know, if you want to be truly a research scientist, you must run your own experiments. But of course, you know, as a country is so large, funding is so limited, not all institutions get that opportunity to train students at that level. The STUTI program is actually to compensate for that, for institutions where people do not have access to very high quality instruments and training. And, you know, like any other program, of course, you know, but for people like Dr. Sankawade, who has interest in training people, I'm so happy to hear from all the participants that you all learned a lot. I mean, that's a very important part. You know, it's easy to run 6 lectures a day, you know, half an hour training and then walk away. But it's important that all of you feel that you're empowered with some kind of knowledge in what you're trying to gain. And, you know, these days what's happening is when such C.V. Raman started in the 1920s, there was no instrument. Everything you need to define yourself. If any of you have the time to read C.V. Raman's history, you should read that. It's a great motivating textbook of how he started his experiment. Because he was interested in measuring light, emission light or fluorescence. So he was using sunlight to get signals from the sample and then put a spectrometer to look for signals. And while he was looking for it, he found extremely sharp peaks, which he found out to be Raman scattering. Now, you know, if you look at the experiment that he did, and when my students come to me and say, sir, we are not getting signals, I tell them, go read their book. Because if Raman can get signal using sunlight, today we have extremely high powerful lasers, extremely highly sensitive detectors, spectrometers. You know, you can't have an excuse for not getting a signal from a sample. So that is the kind of situation that the world is moving to. In any kind of research today, whether it is biology, physics, in medicine, in chemistry, in materials, in earth sciences, everything is now dependent on instrumentation, understanding, use the instruments to get the information you need. And these days, you know, because the instruments are so sophisticated, all sealed, unlike in our days, we have to build instruments, but nowadays, at least instruments are already available. Under the circumstance, it's very easy to make a mistake. It's very easy to see an artifact as being a signal. And therefore, training like this makes a big difference. Can you reproduce the data? How consistently can you reproduce the data? Can this be reproduced by somebody else in somewhere else in the world? All that are very important if you're producing new information that doesn't exist in the literature. So I'm very glad that all of you managed to go through those training, and you should. I don't know if I can request the Vice Chancellor and of course Pro-Chancellor and Dr. Sankawade, if any of these members who got trained under STUTI program in Shivaji University wants to come back maybe after 6 months or 1 year after collecting more samples and want to do these experiments for a week or a few days, they should be given access to these machines So they get more empowered in trying to get data out of the system. Although I can make suggestions, but I'm not sure about your practical issues. But this is the kind of thing we want to do all over the country and empower more people to becoming not only knowledgeable in terms of a textbook, but practically seeing how the instrument functions. And I'm hoping that sometime in the next few months, if I can find the time from here, to come over and probably give a few lectures on how Raman spectroscopy is done, what is the use, how fast can you learn something, and how accurately can you learn something. Today, although Raman is from India, all over the world, if you see, when I go to international conferences where I'm a member of the committee, minimum 1,000, 1,200 people come to the conference. Of that, from India is probably about 5 to 6 people. And that always makes me uncomfortable because it's a technology that discovered in India. It is being used all over the world in all applications, from medicine to forensic to security, also to, of course, in Mars rover and all that. So it's important that in our country we start using such facilities, which are not very difficult to do. And that's what we are hoping to do in the future. So let me wish all the best to all of you. And let me thank the Shivaji University in spending time and effort in trying to organize a program like this. And I hope all of you benefited. And I think you should continue to try to have access. When the student from Bombay University was talking about giving sample to somebody and collecting the data, I was wondering how people do research these days. In my student comes and tells me, I'll say, go sleep in the lab, make sure you get the experiment done. It's unfortunate that you don't have that access. And I hope you can come back and access these instruments in Shivaji University. And therefore, you can do your own experiment, not wait for some operator to get things done. So with this, I wish you all the best, and I hope you continue to do very well. And I will come and see all of you again sometime soon. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir, for sharing such a precious words. And I know everyone present here will be listening you. Now, it's my privilege to invite a noble, dignified personality, such a great and natural leader. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, I'm talking about the Pro-Vice Chancellor of Shivaji University, Kolhapur, Professor P.S. Patil, sir. I kindly request Professor P.S. Patil, sir, to address the assembled gathering.
Good afternoon to all of you. The chief guest of today's function, Professor Umapati, who is the director, ISER, Bhopal. The guest of honor, Professor Sunil Bhan from BC Bilal, Goa. The STUTI PME coordinator, Professor R.G. Soltode, all the faculty members of Shivaji University, and my dear participant friends. I'm indeed very happy once again to be here on the occasion of the valedictory function of the STUTI program organized by Shivaji University on this campus under this center of Shivaji University. I'm sure that you have enjoyed this particular workshop to the maximum extent. I could learn and I could get the message from all the talks that you have really enjoyed this particular workshop. And not only enjoyed, but you also handled the instruments, you have seen the sophisticated instrumentations, and top of that, you also get your samples done and characterized by using these instruments. I'm not sure whether all of you have got that particular facility of scanning your own samples with the instruments that are available here. But in future also, you will also get access to these facilities in future. But of course, you have to contact Dr. Aswan Kode in advance and take his appointment so that the instrument will be available to you. So whenever a student is or she is in the phase of doing research, and in fact, in the scientific research, use of sophisticated instrumentation is very important. And the access of these instruments are also very important. In my inaugural function, I have told you what was the situation when we were doing our PhD. That was very, very dismal situation. But today we have a lot of facilities in and around our, or across the nation everywhere. Only thing is that you have to interpret the samples, interpret the results that you have obtained from the instruments. Okay, so I think from today, I mean, as sir has told you that this is the end of the workshop, but the beginning of new thinking in your mind. You have seen the instruments, you have scanned your samples, now ready with your results. But how to interpret the results that you have obtained is also very, very important. And there, from there, your research work really starts. We have made these instruments available to you. You have made some samples, you have characterized those samples, and the characterization results are available with you. The interpretation, that means the results and discussion part is very, very important. What, how, and why? These three questions you have to ask yourself. Okay, when you look at the graph that you have obtained, what is this graph? This particular graph is having 6 different peaks. Okay, then how I could analyze these particular peaks and compare with the reported results, and then why I have obtained these results for my samples. So answering why in research is very, very important. That I think nowadays that has become less studied. Okay, even though I'm asking my student, you have got these particular results very good. You got 5% efficiency is very good, but why is 5% efficiency? Can you exceed 5% and go to 6 or 7%? Then he is stuck there. He is unable to explain that particular things. He is unable to think what are the limitations of the materials that he has prepared. And therefore, I think this particular workshop will push the limits of your academic confines. Because this work might have generated a lot of interest amongst yourself. So now you are ready to learn on your own, and you are ready to think on your own. Thinking independently is very, very important. Normally, I tell my students that you don't just keep on collecting the stamps. You have to design your own stamp. Is it really possible to design your own stamp? Is it really possible for you to come up with your own conclusion or own mechanism or own strategy or something new? So when you are in search of something new, then you are fueling the innovation. Otherwise, it is just repetition. It is just like copying and pasting. So rather than that, in our country, what we need is to add somewhat like innovation concept. So that is very, very important. So I think this workshop will definitely motivate you. This will inspire you to do something more. Okay. One more thing I wanted to tell you is about top-down approach of learning. For example, today you might have handled SEM or FESEM. Okay, you might have just handled. You have seen that instrument. You have seen various components of the instrument. You have got the results done for your samples. But have you thought over the physics that is involved in this, the physical principles of that machines, and so on and so forth? So top-down means you have to think on the scientific side, scientific aspects of the instrumentation. For example, this is SEM. So why SEM is needed? Okay. Why we need electron microscope when we have optical microscope that are available at a low cost, 20,000 rupees. Why we need electron microscope? Is it really possible to get high resolution with the help of electrons? If yes, how? Can you calculate the resolution of the SEMs? Can you calculate the resolution of any machine? That is very, very important. Then if you are not yet learned in this particular workshop, you can start from tomorrow to calculate all these things, to think on all these aspects that no one normally thinks of that. We just go utilize the sample, utilize that instrumentation, get our samples done. We are very happy, but we never think about all such aspects. That why electron is used instead of photons. Photons means the optical microscope. Because you know the resolution is normally proportional to lambda or is equal to lambda divided by 2 into numerical aperture. Numerical aperture in the light is almost 1. So lambda by 2 is a very rough calculation that you can do. What is the shortest wavelength of the electromagnetic spectrum? Of the electromagnetic spectrum, visible shortest, because you cannot operate optical microscopes in the IR or UV. 400 divided by 2 is 200 nanometer is the resolution of the optical microscope. So that is the limitation of the optical microscope. And we now are working in the nanomaterials. We have to increase the resolution of our instrumentation. And therefore, that is the limitation. Therefore, the electron microscopes were discovered. And then how that, why electron is useful over that of the photon. That lambda is the wavelength of the photon. It can be any other particle like electron. You cannot change the wavelength of the photon. That is not in your hand. It has come directly from the sun radiations, right? 400 nanometer, you cannot change. Just like this fan. Why we like fan or AC? We can control the speed of the fan. We can control the extent of cooling with the ACs. In electron, you can have a control over its wavelength. You can control, you can increase or decrease the wavelength of the electron. Why it is so important to control the wavelength of the electron? Because the resolution of your microscope depends on the wavelength of the electron. And therefore, if you make it shorter, resolution will be better. How to make it shorter? Just like for fan, you have a regulator. There is a regulator. You might have seen the knob, but you have never thought about that. So that particular is the accelerating voltage. Increase the voltage, decrease the wavelength, increase the resolution. That is why you can do, and with the help of this scanning electron microscope, you can utilize the high resolution processes. For SEM, again, there are limitations. You cannot keep on increasing indefinitely, right? There is some limit, and that limit is there. And how to cross that limit? And for that, the FESMs have come into picture. Field emission, what is field emission? What is hot emission? All these questions should be there in your mind. Otherwise, you will stop learning. Otherwise, you will just follow what others have written. Otherwise, you will not be able to innovate something. So that particular inquisitiveness, that particular curiosity is very, very important nowadays. So I think this workshop is also important. That might have given you some seeds of curiosity in your mind so that you can think beyond. Probably you may think, you might be thinking that, yes, I got my results, I'm happy. Why I should learn all these things? Why I should worry about how the instruments, because we are not fabricating the instruments, we are not manufacturing the instruments, then why I should worry about that? You should be worried, you should be curious about it. Not only worried, but you should be curious about that. Professor C.V. Raman's birth anniversary is there. So let me tell you that I'm telling in front of Professor Umapati sir. Professor C.V. Raman has invented scattering effect, right? And that was well documented, and he received the Nobel Prize. But who manufactured the Raman spectrum? Do you know? You have to see. So sometimes it is said that the wisdom, Indian wisdom, has created wealth outside. Those who have utilized the concepts developed by Indians. So C.V. Raman has conceptualized and proved the Raman scattering effect. How to characterize the materials by using Raman scattering. But the machine or the instrument has been manufactured by someone else. That is also very, very important. They even in Raman scattering, what is FD Raman? What is micro Raman? What is SERS, surface enhanced Raman spectroscopy? Why it is necessary? Can we utilize only FT Raman for all the samples for getting all the information that is available under the umbrella of science? So there is a limitation for all the instruments that you should know. Okay, and then you will be able to probably answer the question that why I am using FT Raman, why I have to get micro Raman, why I need a CRS. If you don't know, instruments are there, you will just keep on doing. You will just keep on characterizing your samples with the instruments because those instruments are available. You are just using it. But interpretation is very, very important. So that is the top-down approach that you have to invite probably that we might have done at this particular beginning. This end of the workshop will be the beginning of new thinking in your mind. And so like that, I can quote several other examples, but you might have received my message of telling you why this is so important. Another question is capacity building. When you have results, how to write in a correct scientific language without plagiarism. That is another that skill that you should have. We have started I think some of the courses related to the English communication and how to get expertise in English communication, how to write good research papers so that others would like to read. So with the help of that, if you write very simple research paper with very novel ideas, a lot of people will read. And there are several softwares like Mendeley's and other softwares. From there you will get how many readers are there in the world who has read your paper, right? It is there. So all these are very, very important precursors. All these important parameters that are required to conduct successful research. This is one stage. One person is here, one participant, he just told us that he has started some small startup. This is really good beginning. You are doing research and you have started also. That particular tradition has started. Just now, I was busy in one IIC meeting, that is Institutions Innovation Council. And there also, we are struggling very hard to promote a different culture into the students. That is second phase. Beyond research. What is beyond the research? After research, you can have some nice idea in your mind. Idea, that is called as the ideation. And from that ideation, you can have innovation and translate that innovation through incubation into the startup. And from startup, you can also start spin-off companies. As a student, I think today, as a student, you have to think on these new processes, whether you will be able to accept those challenges that are there, which are really amazing. The results are amazing. We have got some success stories on our university campus. The students who have ventured into the startups, they are getting very good results, and they have been also accepted, being accepted by the government, and we are giving them all kinds of supports. We have an entire innovation ecosystem on our university campus. And not only our university campus, I'm sure that all the university campuses like Pune University and Mumbai City University also, they have set up this research and innovation ecosystem. You should get benefit of that. And most importantly, we have enough funds to support your idea. So we have everything. What we are searching for is a new, innovative, good idea. So probably that ideation is very, very important. You will be able to crystallize some new idea after this workshop. With this particular hope, I would like to stop over here. Once again, on my personal behalf, I would like to thank Professor Umapati, Director of ISER, who are here virtually, on a virtual mode to address this particular gathering and valedictory function. I would also like to thank Professor Sunil Band, who is from BITS Pilani, and I would like to wish you all the best. I'm sure that this workshop was highly rewarding to you, and you will prosper in your research on the basis of this knowledge in future. And it is not only for 7 days, even after 7 days, it is the responsibility of Professor Sonkode to make all these instruments available to you. Maybe, I don't know whether free of cost or on the cost basis, that depends on him. Okay, so, but it will be accessible to you. Okay, so once again, I wish you all the best. Thank you so much.
Indeed, after listening such a powerful words, every single one of us is motivated. Thank you very much, sir, for your kind words and your motivation. The reward of thing done is having done it. So, to propose the vote of thanks, I kindly request Dr. N.L. Talwar, sir, from Department of Physics, Shivaji University, Kolhapur.
I respected dais. Professor Shiva Umapati sir, who is a special person who joined in the online mode, and teaching and non-teaching staff of the Shivaji University, and all participants. First of all, I would like to thank today's chief guest, Director of the ISL, BOPA, Professor Shiva Umapati sir. Thank you, sir, for your online presence and valuable guidance from your busy schedule. Again, I would like to thank guest of honor, Professor Sunil Bhatt, sir. He is from the BITS Pilani, Goa. He came here and he has given a very nice talk, and as well as he attended the valedictory function. And thank you, sir, for your valuable guidance and your presence. Further, I would like to thank Professor E.S. Patil, sir, who is the Pro-Vice Chancellor of the Shivaji University, Kolhapur. Thank you, sir, for coming here and presiding this function, as well as your valuable guidance. Many thanks to Professor Dr. R.P. Sonkode, sir, as STUTI coordinator, for organizing this 7-day training program. I thank to Dr. K.D. Pawar, sir, Kranti More, sir, for a nice introduction of the chief guests. Thanks to all participants who have shared their valuable feedbacks, like Sajid, Sweta, Savita, Bhakti, and other participants. I thank to all participants for their kind support. Again, I would like to thank DST for granting this STUTI program for us. Also, I thank to anchor Ashwini for nice anchoring. With the permission of the president, I declare that this function is over. Thank you, one and all.
Thank you very much, sir. Professor Umapati, sir, can you spare 10 minutes for the certificate distribution ceremony?
Sure. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. I kindly request our President, Professor P.S. Patil, sir, and our guest of honor to
Can you do a screen saving?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, sure. Go ahead, yeah, that's fine.
Atul Devi. Madhuri Bonute. Sorry if I pronounce your name in wrong way. Hina Mullah.
Madhuri.
Sunil Yadav. Subramaniam Jaipal. Sajal. Bhakti Dani. यशस्वी घोरपडे, चेतना, मीनाक्षी, मिस मीनाक्षी, on behalf of our chief guest, Honorable Pro Vice Chancellor Shivaji University Kolhapur, gives the certificates to our participants for their active participation. Miss Meenakshi. Savita Mani. Piyush Gandhi. Vishal Zadav. Tasneem Taj. Pujara. सागर सकाले. साजिद मुलानी. सृष्टि वागदरे. विनायक यस राघव. श्री लक्ष्मी. गौरी शिंदे. पूनम जगताप. Mr. Raza. Mr. Azam Raza. I kindly request our guest of honor to distribute the participant certificates. Kiran Sonawani, Prasad Swami, Srilekha Bachche, Mitali Patil, Susmita Patil, Kedar Gaikwad, Varsharani Mode, Priyanka Chauhan, Umesh Babar, Umesh Babar, Reshma Khandekar, Amol Pandey, Rasika Gesge, Sneha Kopade, on behalf of our chief guest, Professor Shivaji sir, our Honorable Pro Vice Chancellor Shivaji University Kolhapur is going to distribute the participants their certificates. Manoj Gurav, Damodar Sutta, Gurav, then Damodar Sutta. Sheetal Kamble, Sonali Sadagar. Suraj Khot. Rup Madre. Satish Patil. Rutuja Sate. Sir, it will take only 2 minutes. Thank you so much, sir, for your kind presence. I kindly request all the dignitaries to take their respective seats on the dais. Ladies and gentlemen, we have now reached at the end of this valedictory function. There is an end to everything, but we believe that there is never an end, but always a beginning. Everyone has talent. What's rare is the courage to follow it. Now, the pride of India, our national anthem, Vande Mataram, written by Bankim Chandra Chatterjee, and his entire edition extends 69 seconds. So, for next 69 seconds and above beyond, let's hold in our heart the pride of being an Indian. Ladies and gentlemen, please rise with respect and sing along Indian national anthem. Vande Mataram. Bharat Mata Ki. Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, this is me, Ashwini Patil, host of this day, signing off. Before that, we have to take a group photo. I kindly request all the dignitaries and participants kindly gather in the porch of this building for the group photo. I am very thankful to Professor Shivaji sir for their kind presence and motivating all of us. Thank you very much, sir, for your presence. Your presence is noted, sir. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you. Okay. Yeah, you disconnect.
So, with the permission of dignitaries on the dais, I hereby declare that the valedictory session is over. I close. Till that,